Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here, and I am doing a political video about some recent events with the daughter of one of the worst war criminals in modern U.S. history, and that is Liz Cheney. Now, I did a video a while back about my definition of what they call Trump derangement syndrome. And I don't like Trump. I think he was, bombastic and a blowhard and incompetent in many respects. Now, I do have a soft spot for some of the populism he espoused, even if it was somewhat false. There were some good things he did, undeniably. There were some bad things he did, like any modern U.S. president. However, there's this tendency of the mainstream establishment media and political apparatus to have almost a stunningly disgusting amnesia about neocons in regards to this. And I know that the Republicans, maybe didn't do this in good faith as far as removing her from some chair of some committee or something. I don't really need to read about what happened to know what happened exactly. As far as I know that there's partisan Republicans that are partial to Trump, and then there's, people that are being stunning and brave by going against Trump and the Republican Party. Oh, yay, yay, oh my God, what, should I give you a gold medal? And that's really disgusting that the mainstream media is just, softening this thing with people like Liz Cheney. And for one, people just don't remember what it was like back then. I went to at least one protest. I might have gone one other one. I'm trying to remember, in like 2003. And I had bumper stickers. I had, I was genuinely afraid because I was in that age bracket that might be drafted back then to go with one of these endless wars in all these countries, that they planned with, in the 90s, these neocons. And people don't remember how devastating the recession was either, under that Bush caused, with Obama inheriting that. And just the malfeasance and the corruption of the Bush administration. Now, a lot of the reaction to Trump, you can transpose onto Bush, Bush, W. Bush, Bush the second. So, the funny thing, or George the second. And that's the funny thing, is you look at all these things, like all these books that came out, I have one, The Cult of Trump, I bought that. It's like, there was Bush on the couch trying to analyze him, calling him a, sociopath, psychopath, narcissist, it was the same thing with Bush. But all of a sudden now, Bush is that friendly guy that draws dogs. Same with, Dick Cheney's progeny. It's like, oh, well, she had the stunningly brave and, for the Republican Party to oppose Trump. Oh my God, or question Trump. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Fucking, just because your brand of tyranny is not the soup du jour, doesn't mean that, you have to, that means you're stunning and brave, right? That doesn't mean shit. And then you want to attack, that's not our party, the party of Trump. Yeah, because your corporate interests are threatened by, maybe not directly by Trump, but the people that, that Trump sort of gave a wink and a nod to at times, some of the populist ideas. Same with Bernie Sanders on the other side. So they're threatened by this, military-industrial complex, the intelligence complex, the just everybody, they all the you gotta watch out when everybody's against one person or one idea. You have to watch out for that because there's some nefarious intent and grifters galore. And this whole Liz Cheney thing, I just I even saw like I was like, I go to people's houses and they're watching TV and there's some shit on whatever the fucking John Oliver or fucking one of those night show douchebags, and they're talking about, oh, Liz Cheney, she's so brave. Liz Cheney, she's so cool. She wants to bomb brown people, but not say it's for, not be as brazen as Trump as want to steal their oil and all that. She doesn't want to say we steal their oil, but you read the documents and you know that they want to steal the oil. Oh, so sunny and brave. Liz Cheney still wants to kill brown people. Yay! But we can't say that. Or there's, still support racist policies and stuff, like the Republicans have in the past. It's like, whoa, but Trump said it on Twitter. That makes it worse. It's like the fucking, the fucking gall, these Democrats and these the establishment media for softening the crimes of the Cheneys is pretty appalling to me. It just makes me want to quit politics. I mean, what was all that work for in the 2000s, right? What we're going against regime change starts at home. I had a bumper sticker. It was like on my car. It was on my guitar case when I played shows. What was all that shit for? Nothing. Now we're just like fighting over Trump and Russia and all this shit. It's like the fucking memory. It went to the memory hole. So just really disappointing that people would like. I mean, even Young Turks. I expected them to be like by now because I was like, oh yeah, they're going more neoliberal because of Katzenberg's money and all this stuff. And that's probably true to some extent. But even they were like, well, we could say Liz Cheney is good for this one opinion, but all the other shit is bad, or secular talk, of course, attacks Liz Cheney. So good riddance to Liz Cheney. Now, I'm not saying that I support the person who replaced her or whatever on this committee, or if they, get her out of the Republican Party or whatever. But, I ideally want two things in existence. I want the left-wing populists to gain power, the real people who have the opinions of AOC without, AOC's corruption and grifterness. And then I want on the other side, Rand Paul, or dare I say some of Hawley or Trump's ideas. Those should be, ideally to me, those are the two polar ends of what we should be debating. But these grifter establishment neocons and neoliberals just so frustrating. And they're just the gall of them supporting Liz Cheney. It's just awful. And I mean, just do a little impression. Oh, at least Hitler was against Trump. Oh my God, I'm going to support Hitler now because he was against Trump. He's against Trump. It kind of reminds me of relationships I've had where, or even family members have said this, like, well, at least you're not him. At least you're not him. Fuck you. Fuck your at least comparing me to people, and like, oh, at least you're not like him. Oh, it's like this backhanded fucking like patronizing compliment. It's like, well, and then it's just like when they do that, it's just I mean, that's just insulting to me, but like when they say these things and then just like putting these people on the talk shows and just like throw them softball questions and just like totally ignore all the shit they're doing, it's just disgusting. And it's just the Democrats have all the federal government in their power now. What the fuck are they doing? But fuck nothing for the most part. There's a few things, a few crumbs, just like I say. Only a few crumbs our way. But just like with Obama and anybody, there's not going to be hardly any change shit with Biden. It's the same thing. I mean, look at I'm not trying to sound like the alarmist side of things, but like the alarmists about the certain crisis that's going on wanted all these things and they didn't get shit. It's still up to the states for all this stuff, and for the most part it's reopening. And one of the things that bothers me is I'm not a fan of Trump, but you have him to thank for the Action Jackson with Operation Fast Track or Warp Speed and the first Action Jackson nations. I use code words because YouTube seems to have a problem with that word that starts with a V. You have him to thank in December of last year for a lot of the first people becoming, got the thing. And people are just like, oh, it's Biden. If Biden did it, Biden did it. Maybe he accelerated it. I don't even know if he accelerated that much. It was a gradual process they already had in place. So, just frustrating, almost want to take a break from politics for a while, which will be like 2 days. But 2 days is better than nothing, because I've never actually taken a break from politics. Even more than 2 days, I'll watch something. But yeah, I'll take a break for 2 days from politics. Sounds like a good plan, psychologically and otherwise, but it's disgusting. The apologetics. And there was that movie Dick that came out a couple years ago. I think it was 2018, 2017. Great movie, by the way, with Christian Bale playing Dick Cheney. And even that movie was like a very establishment movie, right? I think it won an Oscar or something like that. But, I mean, they were alluding to sort of more nefarious stuff, if you know what I mean. 7-Eleven was that movie, which is surprising. Just like Fahrenheit 7-Eleven was too. Fahrenheit 7-Eleven as a part-time job. No, I mean, just the memory hole that they went into with the Cheneys, the Bushes, and Michelle Obama smiling with, and Ellen DeGeneres hanging out with Bush. Oh, but he's a nice guy. But he's a nice guy. Okay, so Goebbels might have been like nice, on a personal level. I'm Goebbels. Hey, how's it going, fellas? It's like, maybe he was a nice guy. Maybe Goebbels was a nice guy. Maybe fucking Stalin was like nice in a personal manner. Maybe he was personable. I don't think so, but I mean, maybe fucking Pol Pot was like, well, no, Pol Pot was probably a nightmare of neuroses and stuff. Even though, the United States in the late 70s, early 80s supported Pol Pot, gave him like CIA cover because he was fighting the Vietnamese. So, it's kind of like, that's kind of like the whole thing with Trump. It's like America just forgets about their enemies, and their enemies become their friends because there's this greater enemy or enemy that threatens their interests of the elites. The interests of the elites, I should say. And that's about all.